Yes, I do have a script. I have a script. In that case, I can make a note of all the things I need to talk about and not to miss anything. So there's a script. The content is in my head, but I have an agenda here, certain bullet points that I need to cover so that I exhaust everything on my list. This program, as an uncensored Guyana, for those who don't understand what the word uncensored means, I beg you to Google it. Google it, uncensored. Please do. And if you got to the meaning of the word and you realize that it is way out of your league, simply switch. Watch something else. There are lots of other stuff on YouTube. Nice stuff like church stuff, Lifetime movies, lots of other stuff. You don't have to watch me because I cannot edit my content just because of you, just because you don't like cussing. And these folks who are saying they don't like cussing, talk to their husbands or their wives or even their children. Man, the stuff that comes out of their mouth towards their family. And they're telling me not to cuss. At least I am cussing grammatically. I'm using these words in sentences to emphasize my point. It's not loosely. And when you're talking about the PNC, the scraps and the scrapes and the skunks, you got to say fuck. There's nothing else they understand. And when you couple that with Azruddin Mohammed and all the crime trail that follows him, you can't talk to the guy and say, oh, this gentleman, the Honorable Azruddin Mohammed, I have to say something on behalf of that gentleman there, so upscale and esteemed, fine fella. Let's talk about the issues with Azruddin Mohammed. No, fuck it. The man is a lowlife. Look at the people he associates with. He's a lowlife. Which upscale, high class, first class billionaire associates like that? What? That's what politicians do? He ain't a politician. Fucking politician. The man just get involved in the politics because he wants to save his own ass from paying the taxes and from going to jail. And if you don't pay the taxes, I have a problem with that because that's my money. It's my money. I need to get my cut from what you owe the country. So I have an issue with that. This isn't the PPP. This isn't Ali. This is the fact that people like Mohammed can build their fancy palaces and their mansions after fleecing. And they're talking about colonizers. They're talking about colonizers. Why don't the Mohammeds explain how they colonized the interior, where the Amerindians are? How they colonize and they work those people on slave labor and have those niggas with big guns to oversee their plantation, their gold plantation. Let them explain that shit. Who's the colonizers? They're the colonizers. They colonized their own people. How is it that they're the only one in the family that's billionaires and all the others are poor, downtrodden, and have to get some handouts from them from time to time? And they're coming to convince you, some niggas, that they're going to help you to get rich, you stupid asses, and their own family are living in poverty? Oh, it's Ali's fault. Yeah, I forgot. It's Ali's fault. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. Like I said, If you can't handle the heat, please switch. It is better for you to switch. I'm saying it now. I don't give a fuck how sensitive you are. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Okay? So if you have a problem with my explicits, just switch. There are much more things online that you can watch at. I'm not going to curtail my content just for you because, oh, I can't hear. Who the fuck are you? I don't even know these people. I don't even know these people. Switch the damn channel. Or, yeah, channel. Because you are in the channel here. And I'm saying this to all those who watch later on TikTok and Facebook and the other platform. I'm saying this to all the others. Don't go further. Don't watch further because it wouldn't get better. I can guarantee you it would not get better. So the best bet is to quit now while you still have your senses. Okay? Let's start with this. I really need to start on this note. It is clear to me that I've said it last week. I don't think it's the PNC. I don't think it's Norton because those guys they're professional politicians. They are not into the petty stuff and sensitivity and all that kind of stuff. And besides, they're not being extradited. They got nowhere to go. They have family, they have relatives in the US and other countries that don't want to see them. So they have every excuse to stay in Guyana because nobody wants to see them. Nobody wants to see anybody from the PNC. Nobody. Who wants to see them? So they have no issues with what I say. Even Campbell. Campbell liked the fact that I'm keeping him alive. Figuratively speaking, because you idiots would want to think something else. Yeah, in that he's relevant to the content of my show, so I have to talk about him. He likes that. You think they're gonna pay people to make certain comments, especially Indians? Which Indian the PNC can get to try to derail me and try to say things that get on my nerves or try to? Which Indian? Who's going to do that for the PNC? Which Indian will do it? I mean, the black people tried, but they realized that we can't get this one off topic. But the PNC black people are not the ones who were doing that. It was the people from Win, the thugs and the vagabonds from the Azradine camp that he had to pay. You know, you can pay people to make accusations and make certain comments and make certain posts. Yeah, there are people you can pay them to do that. Stupidity for hire. Yes, stupidity for hire. They're stupid, but they are available to the cheapest bidder. And since Azradine is fucking cheap, he can give them a 2,000, 3,000. Hey, make a comment, piss him off, say things, they say, make things up. That's what they do. So they realize that they're not getting anywhere using black people. So they start using the scrapheads and the skunks that call themselves Indo-Guyanese, these fucking lowlifes, to try to derail me. They even call, I mean, they're calling me people that, let me say this. And I said it before. The Mohammeds are nervous. They're nervous, and any voice that seems to be prominent and is making a difference, they will do their best to shut it down. I've seen it to be a threat. So that them and their people are targeting me. I don't understand, but the fact that they're on their way to prison and they're fighting like hell, it seems like they want everybody in the public's domain to speak on their behalf. They want everybody to speak on their behalf. But I'm saying, I'm asking the Guyanese, for what? Why? These aren't legitimate people. These aren't good citizens. These aren't people who are set up. These aren't people who are taken advantage of. No, these aren't innocent kids. These are professional crooks who made money by fleecing people, by taking advantage of a system, by underpaying the staff, by the ruthless, bloodhound way. This is how these millionaire family earn their money. And had it been another country, you see, I love Europe. This is why I talk a lot about Europe. Had it been any European country, they would never, ever excel to that status with the shit they did. Never, not even in America. Not even in America. So why should Guyanese tolerate that? Why should Guyanese tolerate that? No, it has to be a fair playing field, a level playing field. There are people with PhD, master's degree, experienced professional persons can't even pay their fucking rent. You know why? Because they're not corrupt. They're following the system. They are paying their dues. They're being good citizens. And because of that, they have to struggle. And these fuckers like the Mohammeds who have nothing to their name, but took advantage of the vulnerable system with the government and people, and now they want to be worshipped because they have to go face their decades and decades of crime. They want to be worshipped, and if you stand against that, they're putting hits on your head. They're paying their cronies and their fucking scraps to try to insult you. Well, I'm talking about me. I've seen them do it to other people. Why? Why? What is innocent about the Mohammeds? What? I have a duty using my platform, my talent, my skill, my brains to do what I do best. Put Guyana first. Put Guyana first. Because of the fact that the Indo-Guyanese, because of the fact that the Indo-Guyanese, the Indian in Guyana, historically, has always been the backbone, the foundation, the builders of Guyana. I will do what I got to do to protect that and them. Because without the Indians, without the Indo-Guyanese, even you, Mohammed, even you know, because you're Indian, even you know Guyana would never be where it is. Never fucking ever. Everybody knows that, including the racist PNC black people know that also. Indians build Guyana. Indians are keeping Guyana afloat. Indians, nobody else. Not the white people, not the Chinese, the fucking Indians. So if some of you vagabonds, I'm talking about the Indian vagabonds, the Indo-Guyanese fucking vagabonds. If some of you vagabonds are falling for the trap and taking Mohammed's money to try to insult me, you're stupid. You're fucking stupid. You're really stupid. Yeah. Really stupid. Think. You think you can get another black man in Guyana, anywhere, to do what I'm doing? To take all this fire, not just from Guyana. There is a country in Africa that banned me. I must never think of going there. Burkina Faso. Just send me emails and stuff. Banned me. I can't show my face anywhere in Africa. I'm taking that risk. Because my platform is always like this. It's always like this. It's tailored now to Guyana because my concern is the security of that country, my country. But you think, after all the sacrifices I've made, and stand for justice everywhere, everywhere, I'm going to allow a bunch of fucking lunatics to throw me off topic just because you're earning some kind of money from Mohammeds? You think you're that good? You're that qualified? You're that important? I'm doing this for a long time. Over 20 years. Now you're getting to know who I am. I know just come. You understand? So I stand in thoughts, in words, in deeds. I stand with my rhetoric, culturally, spiritually. I stand with Indo-Guyanese. If I was living in the US, it would be Indo-Americans. If I was living anywhere else, it would be Hindu. I stand with the Indian culture, Hindu. So if they're black people who are Hindu, well, you're my brother. I stand with that. And I don't have to make any fucking apologies to no lowlife, whether you're a nigger or you're a coolie. I don't have to. It's none of your business. But know what you're risking trying to get me off topic. Because when it comes down to a civil unrest, when it comes down to what's happening in Venezuela, when that escalates, and Guyana is flooded with them fucking lowlights from Venezuela, who do you think the target would be? I'm talking to them scraps from Win. The Indians, just the Indians from Win, who like to, make whatever threats and posts. You I'm talking to. When the situation escalates in Venezuela and all those low-life thugs and criminals come over, who do you think is vulnerable? Who do you think, if any attack, they will attack? You think about it. Think about it. You think they're going to attack? You think they're going to risk to go attack black people? No, they wouldn't. First of all, the blacks have nothing for them to go and attack. The blacks don't own the land. They don't have the real estate. And the same fucking Mohammed, all them apartments that he has that he built with blood money, those buildings, them Venezuelans will go and occupy. They'll go occupy that. You think the Guyana police is going to get rid of them? No, Guyana has no police to do that. But the people who are vulnerable, if anything escalate, is the Indo-Guyanese. Get that in your skull. When there is massive protest, who's the target? When there is civil unrest, who is the target? Who? And when those things happened, when it had happened in the past, let's go back at the Doubleday Hotel crisis. You fucking scripts in those scripts from the Win camp, I'm talking to you. Let's go back to the Doubleday crisis and all them times when they had those massive 2020, when the PNC had a mandate, a vendetta against not just the PPP, but the Indo-Guyanese. Which black person on record, as recent as the Adriana case, which black person came out in defense and stood up and took risk on behalf of Indo-Guyanese? Who did? All them black friends you think you have. Your brother, oh, from the ghetto, all of them. Which one of them came out? Which one? Look at the PNC side. Who did? Even the blacks in the PPP. Which fucking one of them came out? None. None of them did. Who did? I did. I did. And for that, they threatened my family, my kids. They approached me here. They All of that I faced when the Skello guy insulted Mother Lakshmi. Which black came out against it? Which Indian came out against it? I did. And you have the fucking audacity to take money from Ajid Mohammed to try to derail me, to try to think you have the capacity, the mental acuity to tell me shit? What the fuck is wrong with you? You don't have that capacity. Give Mohammed back his money. Because regardless of what you said, regardless of how you try to distract me, I will always stand with the Indo-Guyanese. Always. Do I make that clear enough? See, if you have nothing else good to say or to call me about, don't comment on my page. Don't comment under my videos. Don't call me. Don't fucking call me. Don't send me WhatsApp. Don't send me Facebook messages. Don't send me TikTok messages. I'm very serious. Very serious. Like I said before, I invite people to make donations. People. And so far, people make donations. Chinese, white people, mostly Indians, and a few blacks. Yeah, black people too. They don't like what I say, but they respect what I say because I speak based on the facts. I'm making shit up. It is the fact. So they send support. They know the risk. They send support. The same way a lot of pastors go on their platform, they beg for donations. They lie to their followers. They lie to their church and say, if you send me $1,000, God is going to do this. If you send me this, God, that's lying. I don't promise anybody shit. If a woman wants to play love to me, I mean, they do it all the time, and she wants to send me $1 billion, what the fuck you think I'll do? Saying, oh no, madam, I hate you. No, of course not. I'll play, it's $1 billion. I'll play love because I need the $1 billion. But I can't take the money from Ashridin because I'll be sanctioned. Okay? I want to be free. I'll be sanctioned if I take Ashridin's money, and I can't afford that. I don't want no FBI questioning me. They're already following my page. That's why a lot of you should be careful what you post on my page because it's being monitored. You want me to accept money from Ashridin? You think he's going to send me money and not talk about it? He will want everybody to know I'm paying Dr. Prasad, I'm paying Kenny, whatever it is, whatever name they want to call me. He would want you to know that, hey, I'm sending him money. So I can't. Seriously, I need the money. But I just can't accept it from the billionaire. I can't. It's prohibited. I am banned from doing that. I can't. I need it, but I can't. You stupid fools. So all the nice people who don't mind me saying and delivering things the best way I know how to do it, you can go ahead and consider it begging. Go ahead and continue to send your donations. And when you do, make a screenshot. Take a picture of the Western Union receipt or the Zeller receipt. Take a picture and make sure you take a selfie with it so they see who it is. If it's an Indian or a Chinese, make sure you do that. And post it on the Mohammeds page. So all the scraps and scrape can see that you're sending donations to me. Please do that. Don't do it in secret anymore. Publicize it. Do that, please. Because you guys know I have a short fuse, man. You know that. I get pissed off at stupid things. I need therapy. I don't drink. I need therapy. Your donations is therapeutic to me. Anyway, where is the Guyanese critic? I wanted to call Azruddin and ask him, where is the critic? Because it seemed like he has a way of silencing people, allegedly. So I'm worried. I'm worried that did Azruddin silence the critic? Because I was beginning to like the critic. Really. I was beginning to like the guy because if you're going to stand up for Guyanese, the way the critic has stood up for Guyanese, I followed a few of his shows and I realized that, hey, this guy's patriotic. He's coming hard. He's risking a lot for Guyanese. Look at how he stood up for Guyanese with that when that asshole from that church, that cult church, wanted to beat up a black Guyanese. I saw how the critic put his neck on the line. I'm like, hey, that's good. But then he disappeared. I thought, where is the critic, man? I want to know where the critic is. I'm seeing all of these rumors flying around from the fuck ups like the queen of prostitute, Smelly Smell, and all these low lives and these vagabonds and paid scraps. I'm seeing stuff circulating from their stuff, and you know they like to send these things. One of them sent me some post with the critic and say, "You're next." I said, "I'm next? Next for what?" So when I read it, I saw something about something about being kicked out of his house or home or some judgment of somebody and something like that. So I don't want to speak on behalf of these sources because we know these sources are lying. They're Mohammed's people. They're being paid to do that. I don't know where they get that from. So I thought maybe let me use my platform to throw it out there. And if anybody knows the critic, to find out, and maybe he should make a video and tell people, hey, I'm on vacation. You know, I'm taking a long shit. I'm on the toilet. You understand? Or I'm busy trying to make a baby and whatever it is. But you should let people know what's up. Guyanese critic, you should. Because we are concerned. Yeah, I get to know. And like I said before, I like the position you take in terms of being a patriotic Guyanese and standing for the people. I don't consider you a politician. I don't think you talk on behalf of the PPP because I think you cuss Jagdio sometimes as well. So you're a neutral guy. But I just want to know that everything is fine with you. If there's any issues, I think the government should have a department to help people like you because you are really, really patriotic. I would not be happy if the government turned its back in the time when you are really down on your face. I don't know if it is, I don't know. But if it's something economic that's facing you and you're not getting bailouts from the government, then I'm not going to back that. I'll be upset because I know what it's like to be used by politicians. I know what it's like. So let's find out where the critic is and let's get him back on his feet. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know. Is he busy with the contracts? Is he busy with his job? Is he what? But you have to make some time for the thing that made you who you are. You can't neglect being the critic and just because you get fat, you get money, you're rich now, you're like, oh, fuck the people. I don't think you're that kind of person. That's what made you. So you have to make sure that that is priority. Have your presence there. So let's hear back from the critic. You know, let's know what's happening because all these rumors and stuff, it's not healthy. Because one person takes it and they add to it, put it out there. Then somebody else takes it and they add to it, put it out there. And before you know it, it's a whole book. And the average person would be thinking, well, I'm going to believe that because I really don't like the critics, so I'll believe that. But it's not that it's not that it's true. It's just that it's tasty. So is it that the critic was expelled from his home? Is it that? Is it he's on vacation? Is it that? Whatever it is, we need to know. If it is that the Guyanese critic lost his property or lost his home or whatever the situation is, I don't think it's something to laugh about. It's not something to laugh about. You don't celebrate when people lose their homes or they're homeless or you don't celebrate that. If somebody gambled and lose their house or they smoke drugs and lose their property, I have no emotions. I have no concern about that. That's their problem. But if for whatever reason that is not related to anything illegal, the person lost their property or lost their living space and their investment, you don't cheer that. You don't cheer that on. You see how best you can help. That's what you do. You see how best you can help. So if the Guyanese critic lost his house because of whatever arrangement or whatever judgment of a court or what the fuck ever, the Ministry of Housing in Guyana should reach out. They have a lot of houses they built already. A lot. Give the man a house. Show your appreciation. Give the man a house. Because I always say, elections are never over. You need people like the critic. You don't want to make an enemy with somebody like that. Okay, politicians? To another serious issue. I saw, unfortunately, let me put it this way. The Jews are just about, what, 10 or 14 million? Just about 14 million in number worldwide. Globally, those who identify with the Jewish religion or consider themselves Jews are just about 14 million, maybe a little more, but around that, in that area. They're like the smallest, the tiniest ethnic group of people on the planet. Very tiny. You can't recognize them. If they don't have that physical appearance, you wouldn't even know that they're Jew, or by their names. So my thing is, why can't the rest of the world just leave the folks alone? Just leave them alone to live their lives. I mean, especially the black community. Let's say this again. Especially the black community in America. They should be very grateful to the Jewish community. The blacks in America should be very grateful. Why? Because a lot of black people, a matter of fact, all the black people in America that are billionaires, they are billionaires because of the Jewish sponsors, donors, backers, supporters. Jews in America made blacks in America rich. The Jews did. So if there is any group of people that black people anywhere need to stand with, would be the Jews. Follow your history, you know. Know your history and you will know. It is the Jews who made it possible for a lot of good things happening in Africa and America with the blacks. So my thing is, you had the October 7th situation there in Israel. Then you had yesterday. Yesterday. You had a similar situation in Australia, where a father and son, Middle Eastern, they have some kind of, the names are confusing, because if you don't look properly, you think they're Indians. I mean, East Indians, like Indians from India. But they're Middle Eastern. I was a bit nervous first. I said, what? Indians are doing this shit? Indian people don't do mass shootings. Indian people don't do those suicide bombing stuff. No, Indian people like to live. They love life. They would stay very far from any disturbance. That's not an Indian culture thing to kill a bunch of people. No, Indian people don't do that. They might scam a bunch of people, but not kill a bunch of people. That's not an Indian thing. So I saw the father and son murdered. And you see the videos, you all saw. The videos with the two men shooting, indiscriminately shooting. They killed children, adults. I mean, it's ridiculous. These people are celebrating the first day of Hanukkah. The first day of Hanukkah they're celebrating. Like we have the 12 days of Christmas. That's the first day yesterday of Hanukkah. The Jews are celebrating in Israel, all over the world. I mean, in Australia, all over the world, they're observing that. All over the world. And these two men just decided to pick that day and come to a beach that they know Jews will be gathered to celebrate, to give thanks. It's a spiritual thing, a religious thing. They were not drinking and getting drunk. They were giving thanks, sharing food. Anybody can go and get food, get drinks. Anybody. It was an open event. It wasn't, they weren't selling anything. They weren't making money. They were just gathered there trying to just be nice. Like the Hindus, we celebrate Diwali, and Pagwa, we come together, and the Christians, Christmas, Easter. They're just doing what they do best with religion. And this father and son came out and, oh, my question is, why are they killing the Jews? For what? For what? These people aren't politicians. If you have issues with the Jews that are in politics, then why don't you deal with them? What's with the average person who identifies a Jew? What did that person do to you? The October case with when the Hamas people went in and murdered these people. Why do they do this? To get whose attention? To get whose attention? I'm concerned about both sides. But every action has a reaction. Every action has a reaction, and you can't determine how people react. If you come after my child, this is not where you and I have an agreement that if you come after one of my children, I must only come after one of your children, and then we sign the agreement. No. If you come after one of my children without my invitation, for whatever reason you give, I will fuck up your whole family. Your whole family and all of them connected to you, I will fuck up the whole crew. Yes. One child, your whole village, I'll fuck up. That's me. You can't tell me how to respond to aggression. If I don't trouble you, don't trouble me. Don't justify it. And if we're looking historically, people are going to go Gaza this. Historically speaking, the people who have helped Gaza the most historically since the day when they took it over, the British, were the Israelis. They helped Gaza the most for decades, almost 70 years. But when you listen to the mainstream media that has a certain narrative, you believe what they're telling you, but you have to do research. Listen to the unpopular source. But you can't justify that, and everywhere you find these people, you go attack them. I'm not done with that. If I can talk for the safety of Guyanese, Indo-Guyanese, and Afro-Guyanese safety, then why should I ignore what's happening in the rest of the world? Why? If it was a group of Chinese and terrorists attacked a group of Chinese, I will be speaking for the Chinese. I am for justice. I am for what's right. Don't take out your anger on people who never did nothing to you. One guilty Jew means all Jews are guilty. It's the same thing they do. That's why I said Black people should be more sympathetic and empathetic with the Jewish community when it comes to these things, because you know what it's like for being to having prejudice against you. Because if one Black man fuck up, the whole race is judged. People don't separate you. You have to earn their respect. You think I have it easy? You think I have it easy? Because those who don't know me, from the time they see me, they don't see Dr. Prasad, they see a Black man. When I start speaking, and if they are aware of what I do, then they're like, oh, okay, and their actions change. Everything changes to be more accommodating, more humble, more friendly towards me. But those who don't know me and never followed me, they know nothing of me, there is a wall. Because one fucking thug, all of them are thugs. That's how they see it. So I understand what it is to have prejudice against you. So you're using one situation with a few Jews and you're condemning the whole group. It's not right. It's not right. So I'm offering my sympathy, my condolences to the family of the Jewish community worldwide for that atrocity. Another one. Just last 2023 was October 7th. Now you have December 13th or 12th or whatever. 14th. December 14th, another massacre in Australia. Imagine Australia, the most peaceful country on earth. You having this happening, where guns are illegal, yet a father and son. I am so happy that that the culprits were not Indians, Indo-Australian. I was so happy. Because it's not something I am familiar with historically that Indian people do. We are on record the most peaceful people anywhere, any country. The most peaceful people are Indians, any country. They follow the law, they work hard, they build, they progress, any country. So when I saw that and I heard the name and I thought, Indians? No, man, something is wrong here. But I did some more. I checked and I realized, oh, these are Middle Eastern. These are like from the what do you call them, like the Arabs and these people that are mixed up. The Muslims. They have some beef, whatever it is, but it's not right. It's not right, it's wrong. Every life is important. Just like how I called for protection for the Indo-Guyanese and the good Afro-Guyanese, I call for protection for the Jewish community anywhere. They have a Jewish community there in Guyana, they have in Suriname, they have everywhere. And they are the minor minority. The rest of us have to look out for them. There aren't many. All right. Love is the answer. The only people I'm calling for execution for are criminals. I'm calling for criminals to be executed. That's it, the death penalty back in Guyana, so that you get rid of the criminals who kill people. That's what I'm calling for. But life is always important. Ask all the millionaires, the black millionaires around. Ask them who their sponsors are. Recently, they had a Nigerian woman, I think, who signed a deal with the Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, for oil production. One of the wells, this black woman, and apparently she owns the company. She's the owner, the CEO, and the founder of the company that entered the deal. And one may wonder, for you to have the resources to have such a powerful company, you have to come from money. It's got to be like an inheritance. But to start a company from nothing and then become to that level, then the question is, who are her backers? So when you do your research, you realize that this same black woman worked for Johnson & Johnson and the Pfizer Corporation. The Pfizer that produces the drugs and all this kinds of stuff. Those are multinationals. Those are huge companies. Who do you think runs them? Jews. Imagine Jewish company, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, had a black woman in an executive position, and they backed her so much that she had enough backings and sponsors to establish an oil company. You think she could have done that if she was working for some niggas or black people? No. You have to have people who fund you, who sponsor you, who stand behind you, who stand as guarantor, who trust you, who have shares in your company for you to be in a position to bid to get certain things, because you have to have capital to offset with your production. The people who stand behind her are white people, mostly Jews. And the trail continues. Look at all the black millionaires. Who do you think is behind them? White people, Jews. And now, Indians. You see, I do research, so I know stuff. So when you think I'm saying stuff because I'm looking for, was it they say? I'm playing on the emotions of Indo-Guyanese, the fucking emotions. Indians are not emotional people. They are mentals. They ain't emotional. Black people are emotional. That's why they fucking commit crime all the time. They don't think, they feel. Indians are not emotional. They think. It has to pass here. That's why they're smart. That's why they excel in school. That's why they are good in technology, in calculus, mathematics, technology, because they are brains. This is what works for them, not this. So for me to penetrate Indo-Guyanese or Indians anywhere, it means they have to approve here in their head that I'm worth it. You don't smart Indian people. You don't outsmart Indian people. They outsmart you. That's why they are the top of the economical ladder anywhere. Look at America. Who is at the top? The Indians. Look at Europe. Who is at the top? The Indians. Why? You think because they're emotional? You people are so stupid like your boss that you don't think when he gives you things or tells you things to type. You must think. If you're an Indian, think. Say, are we emotional? No, you're not. Because if you were, you would be joining every protest. If you were, you would have been supporting the PNC. But Indians are like white people. They're not emotional. It's about their mind. And Chinese, yeah, Chinese too. It's about mind. This is why they are clever people. They plan. You can't plan when you're emotional. That's why in Guyana, folks in Guyana, these are facts I'm talking. These are facts. You had a black government in Guyana under Burnham. Everybody in the ministries were black. What did they do? What did they do? If they were brains, if they were the brainiacs, you think Guyana would have been a shithole country for 28 years? No, they would have been planning, thinking how to get things done. The first time our dear beloved leader, Chetty, took over, in a short time, he managed to take Guyana out of the shit it was in. Why? Because he's Indian and he uses his brain. Then we have the period of Barajaglio. He kept the economy balanced. He did his best with his team. Look at President Irfan Ali. You think, okay, 2015, 2020, the 5 years of the PNC. You don't need any other explanation for that. Black people are emotional. That's why a lot of them don't donate, don't send support to me, because they're emotional. If I say something, when I was talking about Azradine, about the whole sanction thing, and it came over like I was talking in defense of Azradine, you have no idea how many black people contacted me wanting to make contribution. You have no idea. But you see, the next day, when I changed my tactics, all the excitement dropped. And none of them fulfilled the promise they made the day before. Because why? Emotions. But they're Indo-Guyanese who, for months, have faithfully, continually, regardless of what I say, regardless, at a specific date in the month, they send the receipts for their wire transfer. It doesn't matter what I say on my platform. They're already convinced in their mind that I deserve their support. Ain't no fucking emotions that today they feel this way, and then tomorrow if I don't say something they're like, oh no, 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 no. That's black people. You're fucking idiots. That's black people. So don't comment shit about Indians are emotional. You're insulting yourself and your own people. You can never build empires. Even the Mohammeds, look at their empire. You think if they were emotional, they'll be that rich? No. They were strategizing, thinking, planning on how to scam the government, how to embezzle, how to rob, how to trick the system. It takes brains to do that. They can't feel today to go rob a shop, and then tomorrow they hear something or somebody pray, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe yesterday I was planning to go rob the shop. Oh, thank you, Jesus, that I got this. No, that's black people. If an Indian planned, well, they don't rob, like rob, no, they don't do that. If they want to take your property, they're going to be planning that years and cover all the corners, get all the paper, everything fine, fine, fine. So when they show up, they get all the documentation. You can't doubt them. You got to sign. Then after you go do your research, you realize, oh shit, I got scammed. That's what the Indians would do. But it takes brains to do that. Ain't emotions. My following are not emotional people. They're very smart. They're doctors, lawyers, teachers, nurses, scientists. Those are my audience. They ain't stupid. So tell Mohammed he must use AI, use ChatGPT, and say, how can I write a script, a comment to piss this guy off, but I must sound intelligent. And ChatGPT might formulate something for you. Use that. Don't come out your own self because you're incapable of producing anything with content. So at the end of the day, you must understand your father, Azruddin, every time I see him next to you, I can imagine what is it he's thinking in his head. He should have pulled out, should have pulled out, should have pulled out, should have just jerked off and come on the side. Yeah, I'm just imagining that's what he's thinking. He went through all that, and look at what he produced. Look at what he produced, you. And you are going to be the end of him. He really should have masturbated and spilled the sperm at the side and say, okay, that's it. You watch the guy, the man, you can see his face, he's disappointed. You know what a shame that is? You know what an embarrassment that is? Look at the massacre in Australia. Father and son. How the heck can you be involved in these kinds of things with your son? You don't bring your children involved in those nonsense. But it seems like you, Azruddin, you brought your father into the confusion. Because you said the other day that you're a gold miner. You just throw the man under the bus. You throw the man under the bus. He's a gold miner. You're a gold miner. So anything to do with smuggling is your father. You did it without even knowing that that's what you did. Now all your supporters, Sugrim, Charles Sugrim, he's giving evidence against you. Nobody wants to be in associations with you anymore, Ajrudin. Nobody. So stop deflecting. Stop deflecting. We don't want to see what the Minister of Housing or what's the minister's name? Mustafa, is it? You're exposing a man's house. When the sheriff had a drone over your house, you wanted to sue the man for that. And you have the audacity now to violate the airspace over the minister's house. You think that's going to distract Guyanese from your crimes? And you have like hundreds of buildings around the country with taxpayers' money that you robbed? You think that is going to make Guyanese say, oh my God, look at what the PPP ministers are doing. Look at where the president lives. Look at this. No, people already know the shit you did. That's already there. So no amount of drone shots or pictures you're posting would distract Guyanese from the fact that you need to pay $191 billion in taxes to the government. I need my cut. I'm broke. You see, as you know, I'm begging. I'm begging for donations because I'm broke. So if you pay your taxes, maybe we'll get some cash grants from that. And then I'll apply for cash grants. Because 191 billion, maybe the government can say, okay, folks, we'll give you 500,000, a one-off cash grant of 500,000 this time. Just pay the damn taxes, man. I need my fucking money. I don't want to see what minister lives. You're just pissing me off more when you're showing me those houses because I want those houses. I need those houses, but I don't have the know-how to be a criminal. And I wouldn't go down that road. No, no, no. Hell no. But I need to live in those mansions. So showing me those houses and showing the Guyanese public, what do you think they'll do? They'll hate the PPP? No, listen. You need to understand what I'm saying here. Every Indo-Guyanese, their ambition is to live above a certain standard. It's an Indian thing. So when you show that, you are just motivating the Indians to support the PPP because they want to have that kind of life. And if the PPP people can afford that kind of life, everybody wants that. You are getting more support for the PPP when you show us how lovely members of the PPP are living. Now I want to go and get a party card. I want to sign my name in the book now. I want to pressure Ali to say, hey, listen, Ali, I need some big houses too. So you might as well include me in the cabinet and give me a government salary. Because Ajrudin is exposing how nice PPP members are living. I want to live like that. I'm a member, but I'm not in the book. So you keep doing it, Ajrudin. I'm begging you. Keep showing us how lovely members of the PPP are living, which means most of Guyana is living. You should provide housing for them niggas that are following you. Provide housing. You have massive apartment buildings. Give each and every one of them one. Because if you don't, the Venezuelans will come and take it over. And since you'll be in prison, the government might not want to help. They won't want none of my business. That's the Mohammed stuff. If his people want to go and occupy it, let them go and occupy it. Anyway. Priya Malik Chan for 2020, 2030. Priya Malik Chan, President, 2030. The first female president in Guyana, Priya Malik Chan. Okay? Oh, and Priya didn't pay me. I never talked to her. She don't even know I exist. So don't go saying now that Priya Malik Chan is paying me. No. She don't know I exist. I like her. I am supporting her. And I'm doing this for free. When elections come, then she would have to pay me to promote her on my platform. But for now, she knows nothing about me. But I want you to support her. Like her page, follow her page, share her stuff. She's eloquent, elegant, clever. And you want a woman, you want a politician who is a female who's actually a female. You don't want fucking Amanza Walter Desir and Simona Bloom, those you don't want those. You want some nice looking people that don't have dirt on their skin, clean, beautiful. You want those finesse. You want women like that. And Priya has a husband, so she's straight. That's what you want. A president like Priya. Mm? So let's give her the thumbs up. Priya Malik Chan, 2030. And critic, please let the people know where you are. Bye now.